Hi everyone, it's Jess with Show and Tell number 2. I wanted to share with you today the Studio Calico Kit Club. This is a subscription-based club that sends out the latest scrapbooking and paper crafting products to you every month. And I am, as you probably know, not a scrapbooker. I am primarily a card maker. So I was a little hesitant to get this kit at first, but I wanted to share with you today how I've kind of made it work for me. And I really just love the kit and think it's great for any kind of paper crafter. So I wanted to go through this month's kit. This is the September kit, Glee Club, and just show you a few of the products. Those are some basic gray yo-yos, and I've already passed over the exclusive stamp that Studio Calico produces, and they produce those stamps with Hero Arts. So they are of Hero Arts quality, which is really great. They include some extras in every month's kit, just some little pieces of paper, some coupons, but I always save them because they have some cute pattern paper on the back. And lots of embellishments, including these border stickers from Sassafras and Studio Calico. And then these are all of the pattern papers, and they are in the 12 by 12, standard scrapbooking size, which is not a problem as a card maker. You can just cut them down. And there's some kits where I've gone ahead and just cut them all down to be 6 by 6, which is more of a standard size that a card maker might work with. But some kits I leave, large, just in case I ever want to do another project with them. And those were the cardstock that comes with every kit as well. Sometimes it's actually nice to have a larger piece of cardstock. I usually buy the 8.5 by 11, but I find myself needing that 12 by 12 size sometime. And these are a lot of the pattern papers from the kit. They are always from the latest releases and, from the companies, the bigger named companies. So you'll be very happy with your kit. I am starting this week's card by cutting down the piece of craft cardstock that came with the kit to a standard size card. And then I just have a piece of pattern paper there that I cut to a 1/4 of an inch mat. And then I die cut one of the pieces of paper with the Matte Stack 4 die from Paper Tray Ink. That is one of the only items here that I use that didn't come in the kit. So I am going to go ahead and ink around the edges of this with Antique Linen Distress Ink. And if you're ever wondering for a matte size of a card, I have a handy printable over at my blog that you can print off that lists all of the common matte sizes so you can easily cut them out. I will link to that in the post over at my blog so you can check it out. But I am finished inking up that panel there, and I'm going to just attach it with my ATG. And next we are going to run the card as well as the die through the Bake Shot. I want to die cut a place on the front of the card to put the other piece of pattern paper that I die cut inside of. So I'm just using a little washi tape there, and that's low tack tape just to adhere it so it doesn't slip when I'm putting it through the die cut machine. Now I have my piece all die cut there. I had to give it a couple cuts with the X-Acto knife to get it out completely, but it wasn't too bad for as many layers as it was going through. And now I am inking the outside edge of that die cut with Antique Linen. And I'm probably going to stamp that camera there. This whole card was done on camera. I didn't really start off with a plan. I just wanted to kind of go through the kit and see what I came up with. So to get perfect placement on this, I will just close the front of the card and then add in my die cut to the front there, so I don't have to worry about if it's not lined up correctly. And that looks pretty good right there. And I want to make sure that it's adhered fully to the inside of the card so I don't have to worry about the edges coming up. And now it's time to stamp that camera, which I love. That is from the kit for September. And that's the first time I had stamped it, so I was just stamping off any residue. Sometimes there's residue on the stamps the first time you stamp, just from the process of making them. So I just stamp them off on my craft sheet a little bit to make sure all that's off, and it just gives you a cleaner image when you go to stamp it on your cardstock. I am just stamping it on the piece of craft cardstock that I had left over from cutting that down. And I am cutting it out there, and I left just a little bit of a border, maybe a 1/16 of an inch. It's not too large. And we're going to set that aside. I'm not quite ready to place it on the card yet. The thickers that came with the set are the Elf chipboard thickers in wood grain. They're from American Crafts. And what I like to do with the thickers are cut out the letters individually before I take them off the adhesive. It really helps me to get placement for them on my card before I have to commit to where I want to put them down. And I have lined them up roughly how I think they're going to go, so I'll go ahead and start placing them down. The sentiment I'm using is "Oh Snap," and that is also a stamp that was included with that little camera. But I wanted to really highlight it because I thought it was a cute and funny sentiment. So I decided to use the thickers instead. And I love the thickers because they already have adhesive on the back. So it's no mess, no fuss. You just peel off that backing and slap them on there. Now I wanted to use a little bit of a border sticker. That is the ones from Sassafras. And I decided to put it on the inside of the card. This card gets a lot of decoration on the inside and the outside. It worked out that way. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick it along the panel here. I kind of want to see what it's going to look like on the front and get it placed where I think it will look good. And then I know that the sticker is too large for the space, but I'm going to go ahead and push it down anyway. And then I can just flip over the card and cut off the excess. I use that trick a lot just to get a clean cut, and then I don't have to worry about measuring anything or, trying to cut it right the first time. Now we are about to place our camera down. I'm using some dimensional adhesives there, and I'm just going to place it right kind of in the center of that panel. It'll be a little bit at an angle, but I wanted to highlight it. It's really cute, and it's one of my favorite things from the kit this month. And I also have a little brad there. That is from the Amy Tangerine and American Crafts collection that I've talked about before. I really love it. So I'm going to go ahead and punch a little hole there. But I also know that some people don't like to have the ends of their brad sticking out the back of their cards. So what you could do is just snip off the brad portion with the Tim Holtz scissors. They cut through everything. And just do some glossy accents and glue it on there if you don't like the look of the metal on the back. But it doesn't bother me. I know it's homemade and the recipient will know it's homemade, so I just think it adds to it. And after I get that brad twisted and adjusted there, the card is complete for this week. It was really fun to kind of showcase one of my favorite things, and I hope you guys give it a whirl. There's more information over at my blog, jesslarson.blogspot.com.